What's up, Rad Family? Our trek across the world to search for scary tales has brought us a lot of nightmare fuel. But our journey is not even close to being over. Today we're diving into Native American urban legends to uncover 4 creepy creatures that may just have you hesitating to turn off the lights when you go to bed tonight. So let's get to it. As urban legends were passed down from generation to generation, generally by oral storytelling, a variety of versions with tweaks to the story exist. The story may be different, especially in regards to the title, depending on the location it was heard in. The same can be said for these 4 urban legends of terrifying creatures. Number 4, Twofaced. Being two-faced is about to take on a whole new meaning for some of you. I know I won't be able to use this term without picturing this nightmare. This scary beast has a lot of leeway when it comes to their appearance in stories. Appearing as a human at first glance, you wouldn't think these beings are anything to run away from. It's when they turn around that you'll notice all isn't as it first seemed, and by the time you noticed, it was too late. On the back of their head, you would find another face. Once an unfortunate person locked eyes with the second pair, it was said that fear would strike the person down to their core. If they were lucky, they would only be frozen in place until they decided to leave your presence. The fear would turn to paranoia and anxiety, jumping at every twig snap or whistle of the wind. Of course, their fear wasn't without merit, for the two-faced being would eventually return to viciously murder them. Those unlucky would drop dead at the first sight of the backwards face. Oh wait, did I say the first one was unlucky? Because now that I've covered both, the thought of living your last days in a constant state of panic sounds way worse than just dropping dead. As if just one doesn't sound scary enough, some urban legends claim there is a whole race of two-faced beings out there roaming the world. More two-faced beings out there means more of a chance to run into one. Ugh. Number 3, Mosquito Man. I don't know, Mosquito Man just doesn't have a very terrifying ring to it. I mean, if anything, I would rather this creature be human-sized because I think that'd give you more of a chance to evade it. It's these normal-sized bloodsuckers that are the true nightmare because the second I wake up, I swear I'm covered in bites that I didn't even know I got. Or so I foolishly thought before I read this gross tale. The tales of Mosquito Man describe a completely ordinary-looking human being. Nothing about his appearance would tip you off on the evil lurking close by. And it is his inconspicuous appearance that allowed him to swoop in and claim his unsuspecting victims. One story in particular is bone-chilling and shows how ruthless he really was. During a celebration, a tribe gathered at night to partake in the festivities. While everyone was enjoying themselves, a newborn child was being passed around to be introduced to the tribe members. But then the baby was unknowingly handed to this evil creature in disguise who just happened to be hankering for a late-night snack. Backing into the shadows, the man leaned closer to the child. While no one was watching, the Mosquito Man widened his mouth and stretched out his hidden proboscis. The child's terrified wails went unheard as the tube struck into its skull and its brains were drained into the man's pit of a stomach. The child's lifeless corpse wasn't discovered until it was passed back to the mortified parents at the end of the night. I wonder if bug repellent would work on Mosquito Man. Number 2, Cannibal Dwarfs. A cannibal sounds scary enough, right? Well, imagine if that cannibal was the size of a small child, could turn invisible, and had supernatural strength that even a team of Olympic wrestlers couldn't match. Well, that about sums up our next one. They were said to be a group of pure evil incarnate. Their insatiable hunger and greed kept them on the constant hunt for their next meal, which would be any unfortunate soul that crossed their path. With unequal speed added to their list of unparalleled advantages, you wouldn't stand a chance. There are a few offered explanations for their short temper and eagerness to rip into someone. My personal favorite? Because they could. It was a fun family activity for this ravenous group. But their KD ratio led to arrogance. One urban legend regarding these creatures told the story of a warrior captured and waiting to be fed to the salivating chompers of a cannibal. But before the teeth sank into his flesh, he figured out they were lacking in the intelligence department. Taking note of the walls covered in bleeding hearts, the warrior asked about the peculiar interior decor choice. Then the cannibal freely offered information that led to his own downfall. The hearts were that of his family. Apparently, they left them behind while on a hunt. The warrior then began to stab the center of the hearts, one by one, killing the accompanying beast until he was freed. Goes to show that brains over bronze still holds up. Number 1, Skinwalkers. What's scarier than the idea of coming face to face with a vampire or a werewolf? Well, obviously doing so with a vampire-werewolf hybrid. And that's sort of what a skinwalker is, as it shares similarities with both. As the legend of the skinwalker has it, these beasts took on unassuming human form during the sunlight hours. It wasn't until the sun dipped below the horizon did it transform into the shape of an animal to feed upon weaker humans it found. But that's not all they were said to be able to do. Their long list of hybrid abilities included mind reading, compulsion, and superhuman strength, to name just a few. Skinwalkers sound like the ultimate supernatural being. Thankfully, while these nightmarish creatures sound immortal, they did have weaknesses that could lead to their demise. Uncovering the Skinwalkers' personal identity, accompanied with their disdain for the sun's rays, left them vulnerable during the day. Evening the possible killing outcome, the opportunity would arise to defeat the Skinwalker while in their human form. If your attempt failed and you managed to escape before they could exact their revenge by ripping you to shreds, some legends mentioned a medicine man could create a sacred weapon which could then be used to give it a second shot. 2 monsters for the price of 1. Great deal. And there you have 4 horrendous creatures that can come together and form one big nightmare. Remember all these creepy beasts when you're snuggled up, ready to go to bed tonight. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below so that your nightmare fuel tank can always be full. Until next time, keep up the radness and I'll see you real soon. Bye!